I had a dream that I got shot before I even got shot.
Really?
Yes, I was levitating. Like my body was still on a hospital bed, but I felt myself kind of coming up out my body. So I didn't really know the gang violence stuff. And I know it's kind of like hard to believe, but I feel like it was kind of overshadowed by, like expensive trip. It's Miami, expensive trips, shopping, like
Mhm.
things that he would do for me. And I never kind of questioned like where he was going or where he was getting this money from. Or so I spent most of the time in the hospital by myself. And I just remember like this dark figure laying next to me. And by the third time, it kind of like jumped on top of me or flew on top of me and started like to lick all over my face. And
How often do you see these shadow people around different people?
every day,
Every day?
every single day.
Do you see one around me? Hey, you.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
For viewers out there watching, today's guest is Olivia, who had a near-death experience after being shot 7 times. Olivia, would you please start at the day of the incident and tell my audience what happened?
Okay. That day I woke up. I ended up getting dressed to go to a kid's party. I didn't really know the family, but I was with my boyfriend at the time, and he knew the family. So we went there. I was in my vehicle. I drove to the party. We put up to the party. He went inside the party. He came back inside the car. As soon as he walked inside the vehicle, a shot just fired. I thought something flew in my eye and it just kept burning. And I was looking at, like, I was covering my eye and I was like, I think something flew in my eye. I don't know what it is. And he asked me to move my hand. And then when I moved my hand, I felt like my face kind of slide off. And I tried to like catch it. So I kind of synced it and I kind of like tried to catch it and like hold it. So half of my face slid off and I kind of like saw it in my hand and I tried to like push it like back up and I just kept holding my face. And soon as he left, I kind of like sat in the back of my seat and kind of leaned back and all I saw was like darkness. And then something in my mind was like, how I'm gonna die. And I didn't achieve anything with my life. I was only 21 and I didn't do anything with my life. Like I was in Miami selling lashes. I didn't really do it. And I'm not doing anything. So when that happened, I started feeling all the other shots like hitting different parts of my body. I was shot in my bladder, my pelvic, my hand, my shoulder, the outer wall of my vagina. So it was like really devastating to me as a woman because I felt like I lost my face and then I got shot in by my vaginal wall and I felt like that was going to be different. And yeah, it was a hard feeling, a sad feeling. But as the shots were coming and I realized what was happening as I was leaning back, I started putting like my hands up like this. And I just started praying, asking God to save me. And at telling him, I can't even remember the exact words. I just remember talking the whole time. And when I look back at the picture, I couldn't believe that I was able to even open my mouth and say a word. But in that time, I was just talking. I was asking God to save my life. I wasn't even thinking about anybody at that moment. It was just me and God. I didn't think about my brother, my sister, like nobody in my family. And I feel like that was kind of the reason why my life was saved because I called out to the only person that I knew could do
Yeah.
anything. I didn't even ask anyone to call the police, but I couldn't because I was kind of by myself when other shots was firing.
What do
And
you mean you
before
were by
I
yourself when the other shots were firing? What happened to your boyfriend? He's no longer in the car?
Yeah, he ran off. Soon as the first shot hit and he took a look at me and he just left.
Because he thought that you were deceased?
That's what he explained to me that he thought that I died when he saw my face in the car.
Do you believe that?
Um, uh, I guess now that I see the picture, I could believe that. At the moment, I didn't because I didn't realize how bad it was. But once I saw the pictures, I was like, okay, I could understand why he thought that I died and things like that. Before I knew it, it was a white cloud that was over me. And at that time, I stopped feeling pain as the white cloud was covering me. So I didn't feel any like pain on my body, anything. I knew where I was shot at because I could feel the heat coming from it, but it wasn't painful in the moment.
Mhm.
Fire rescue had came, and that's when I realized that somebody else was shot as well. It was a little girl. She was 6 years old. She got shot in the head and she passed
Mm.
away.
Mm-mm-mm.
So when fire rescue came, they literally pulled me out the car, laid me on the ground, cut off all my clothes, and then people was kind of like surrounding me as I was like laying on the floor naked. And I was up the entire time until I got to the hospital and I grabbed the doctor by the arm and I told him to let me die. And that was the last thing I remembered until I woke up probably 2 days later. And during that time, while I was like in the hospital, I guess like sleep or in a medical coma or wherever I was at, I end up being at a place where time didn't exist. And I say that because in that place, I saw like my family and friends and people I didn't really see for a long time. And I saw like glimpses of things that didn't happen yet. Like my brother, he was carrying a child, which was like, I would say it was a little girl because it was like a pink blanket.
Mhm.
And my brother didn't have a child at the time. And I saw like, my father or whatever. And I saw like how he passed away
Mm.
and things like that. And my father's still alive to this day, but in the I don't know, the place that I was at, it kind of he had a heart attack.
Wait a minute.
And
So your father is still here. Your father has not passed away, but you
mm,
saw how your father is going to pass away.
yes.
Wow.
And yes, and then fast forward, my dad started having like heart issues. Like prior to my shooting, I never knew my dad from having like heart issues. He was always healthy. But then when I seen that vision, and then like maybe a year later after my shooting, he started having like heart issues and had to go to the doctor. So it kind of made me feel like, oh my God, like is this something that I seen that like is actually gonna happen
Mhm.
and stuff? And I was kind of afraid to tell him or even speak it out loud because I always felt like the things that you say out your mouth, I don't know,
That
it's like you
power.
bring, yeah, the power of it. So I tried not to say anything. Even with the shooting, I had a dream that I got shot before I even got shot.
Really?
Yes, I had a dream probably 2 days prior to the incident. And it didn't happen exactly how it happened in like reality, but the same people that were there
Mhm.
in a dream in real life. And I kind of like ignored it because I thought like, it's just like a dream or things like that. And it wasn't something serious until it kind of like happened. And I know it sounds crazy to dream you get shot and then you get shot like 2 days later,
Mhm.
but that actually really did happen. And
Yeah, I believe it.
sometimes I can't even fathom that like I'm had like that
A
experience.
premonition.
Yeah, a premonition.
Hmm.
I didn't even know what to call it. I just thought like, I don't know. But yeah, um, at the time, even before I came to Miami, I was living in Georgia. And I was living in Georgia for like 5 months, and I was in a domestic violence relationship, and he used to like beat me and things like that. So I kind of like ran away from that and like came to Miami. And literally the second day of being in Miami, I met the guy, and we was only together for probably like 6 months. So I didn't really know the gang violence stuff. And I know it's kind of like hard to believe, but I feel like it was kind of overshadowed by, like expensive trip. It's Miami, expensive trips,
Yeah.
shopping, like
Mhm.
things that he would do for me. And I never kind of questioned like where he was going or where he was getting this money from, or, I never questioned it because I kind of was like young and
Mhm.
just focused on
Yeah.
like the things that he was giving me. And sometimes I look back and I think like, dang, if I would have paid attention more or asked questions or, you
Don't do that
know,
to yourself. Everything is a learning
yeah.
lesson. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, but I always think about that. And I always want to speak on that because I feel like people will be dating guys and they don't really pay attention to all the other things because, like the lifestyle and stuff like that. So, yeah, in the 6 months, I never questioned it and nothing. And he never really did anything in front of me to make me believe like he's out there doing whatever he's doing.
Was he shot?
Yes, he was shot as well. He was shot in his like and then I'm trying to find another word for ass.
You said it now.
He got shot when he ran out of the car and they shot him in the Botox.
He shouldn't have left you no way. That was his ass get. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. But Olivia, did your brother end up having a little girl?
He ain't have it yet.
No.
So I'm not sure how
Mhm.
long that's gonna take, but he hasn't had the little girl yet.
Okay, so you said that you were shot 7 places. You said your pelvic was it your pelvic wall?
Yeah, my pelvic bone and
You,
then my vaginal wall.
but you ended up having a child, no?
Yes, I ended up having a child after.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
told
that's
me that it probably wouldn't be a high chance of me having a child. And after the time of my shooting, like I didn't have a menstrual like for a long time. So I thought that, having kids was over for me because, you need a menstrual cycle or something. And he just came out of nowhere.
wow, that's
Yeah.
you have something over your life. You really do. So you're in the hospital. And what's happening? You're telling me that you're having these supernatural experiences. You see, all these people. You see how your father's going to pass. Did anything else happen to you while you were in that state?
Yes. Um, I remember sitting, like not sitting, but laying down in my hospital bed, and it was around COVID, so like family and friends couldn't visit me and things like that. So I spent most of the time in the hospital by myself, and I just remember like this dark figure laying next to me. It was kind of like a shadow, but like in 3D.
Hmm.
And I felt at the time like, oh, this is not real, but I'm by myself and I don't want to be alone anymore. And, so I just kind of sat there and then it kind of spoke to me. Well, not kind of, but it spoke to me and it said, Olivia, I love you. And it kind of shocked me because in my day-to-day life, people don't usually call me Olivia. They call me by my nickname Star. So to hear my name like fully out and then it's speaking and it's sounding like just like anybody talking in a room with you, it kind of scared me. Then I remember looking up at the ceiling in a hospital bed and I kept seeing these lights kind of like moving around in the hospital, and I just kept thinking like I want to be up there with the lights. Like it was just such a beautiful thing to see. And I remember feeling like my body, like I was levitating, like my body was still on the hospital bed, but I felt myself kind of coming up out my body, and the shadow figure grabbed me by my arm and kind of pulled me back. And it happened 3 times. I did it the first time and grabbed me by my arm, and then I did it again. It grabbed me by my arm again. And by the third time, it kind of like jumped on top of me or flew on top of me and started like to lick all over my face, which was like a crazy feeling. And then I kind of like woke up. And when I woke up, I realized that I couldn't breathe. And the tube I had, it was kind of like clogged or choking me or something like that. And I couldn't get air.
Wait a
So
minute.
I,
Licking you like a dog licks you in the face?
yes, which is ironic because like I don't know, I just hated that. I hated when people lick my face, like animals, like partners, anybody, like to like put wetness on my face or something. I hated the most. So to feel that was like kind of like crazy and it woke me up. And
Mhm,
then before I knew it, I had to get rushed into emergency surgery because the tube was kind of clogged up. So they had to like take it out and like redo everything and stuff like that. And
mhm,
I always feel like that was an angel because it literally like saved my life.
mhm.
First thing is that I actually pulled it out, and they told me that I could have died just by pulling it
Pulling
out
that out.
myself, like I did.
Wow.
So
So how long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital for like almost a month.
Is there anything else supernatural that happened, or do you continue to have any supernatural experiences?
Um, Now I see the shadow things kind of like everywhere. Sometimes they can be like attached to people or they're kind of like roaming around. And when I say attached, it's kind of like, standing very closely to someone sometimes. And I'm like, okay, and follow them around sometimes. And at first it used to kind of like scare me. But now I kind of like I don't even know what they are, if I had to be honest. I have people reached out to me to kind of like explain to me like, what the things that I'm seeing,
When you see
sometimes
them, when you see these shadow people close to people, is it just a shadow of the people, or are these something that's moving differently from the people? What are they doing?
moving differently.
Really?
Yes, I remember one time it was like standing like directly in front of the person and kind of like moved, and I kind of like seen like it moved from behind them, even though the person was looking at me, and it kind of like really shocked me, and they thought like something was wrong with me, and I couldn't really explain to them
Hmm.
what I was seeing
Seeing,
without
right.
sounding crazy.
Hmm.
I even thought I was crazy. I ended up going to a mental hospital and everything, and because I thought like because of the shooting, like my mind probably like
Hmm.
broke
Right.
and
How often do you see these shadow people around different people?
every day,
Every day?
every single day.
Do you see one around me? You can
No.
tell me, like, you can really tell me for real, for real. No, for real. I'm giving, like, seriously. Like, I'm not gonna freak out.
No, I don't see. It just happens randomly. I don't know. Sometimes you can have feel the energy, like if there's like negative, and I'm like, okay, probably have to stay away from this person because maybe the lifestyle that they're living is the reason why these things is attached to them and it feels so
I
negative.
Yeah, I think that what you're seeing is attachments. I think when you see like some people have like addictions, whether it's like sexual, gambling, trauma, I definitely think, me personally, it's just my opinion. I think that that is what you are definitely picking up on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes I feel that way too, because after I get to know the person, I kind of understand like why they have like
Uh-huh.
these things
Yes.
attached to them.
So how many surgeries have you had?
More than 20. On my face alone, probably 20. And then everywhere else, probably like maybe like five, probably the five, so maybe like 25 surgeries.
Are you done with
Um,
surgery?
no, I actually have a surgery coming up in August, that I'm doing to like remove some of the scars and kind of like straighten everything.
I went to your Facebook page and you have this video on your Facebook page. It's like the first
And
video on there. And when I clicked on that video, I was not ready. And
yeah,
the fact that you look as good as you look today is a miracle because you were on an operating table and your eyes were like,
yes,
I was like, there's no words. People are just going to have to go to your Facebook or you're going to have to share with them to see. But that image has haunted me for like the last couple of weeks, just seeing you on that operating table because you couldn't even make out what it was really like. And so the fact that your face looks as good as it looks now is you a trooper. You're a real trooper.
I didn't realize how bad it was until I seen the picture. Because after the incident, I never looked at my face. It was all wrapped up. I tried not to look at mirrors and things like that.
Mhm.
And when I first seen the picture, I honestly didn't realize it was bad as it was. I thought it was just like one side of my face. I didn't know that like my whole face was open until I seen that picture.
Right. You are blessed. From what I saw, you are blessed. You're already beautiful. If people saw those images, they would like I can't even describe. It's something out of like a horror movie. Like, but
Yeah,
to see your face now, like the way you look is amazing. And I know you're gonna get to where you want to be, but you're already okay. Like you're already, so don't feel no type of way. It happened. Things happen. Stay encouraged. How old is your baby?
he's 3.
Are you still in Miami?
Yes.
She's still in Miami. Y'all support her. She has all type of, things going on. And so I'm going to leave all of her information. So if you all want to reach out to Olivia, if you want to support her in any type of way, you can do so. If there's just one thing that you could leave my audience with, what would that be?
Put all your trust and faith in God. That's the only thing. Don't put it in people. doctors. I remember doctors was telling me that I would be unrecognizable, that people wouldn't even know like who I am, or they told me like, I'd never be able to bear a child. And I always tell people that God has the last say so. Even with my pelvic shooting, they told me that I will always feel nerve pain. I'll never be able to walk regular again. And when I say I put myself in that physical therapy and I worked hard and I prayed every single day to like be normal when it comes to like functioning in my body, and I always feel like God will have the last say so on anything that happens in your life, no matter what people tell you. Always put your faith and trust in God. When you want to call out to somebody, don't call out to mom, dad, or your pastor or whoever. Call out to God, the creator, because he's gonna show up every time. And I can say that with my life. It's nothing that I have prayed for that I have not received. And I will want to leave that with people.
You spoke a word to me, and so I know that you spoke a word to others because I felt it. Um, Thank you so much for being here, Olivia. I really appreciate you, and you enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Okay, thank you
Have
for
a great
having
4th
me.
of July.
You as well. Thank
Thanks.
you.